Hello, everyone. This is Ian, and welcome to T Podcast, Teaching English at Iba pa. Nag-start ako yata ng T Podcast bago yata pandemic, kaso na ang daming mga issue. And one of the reason why I created this is una, I really want to practice my skill to speak. Second is gusto kong pag-aralan kung paano gumawa ng B-rolls, reels para sa mga iba kong tasks. So, you have the option to listen or you have the opportunity to skip the feedback. I'm okay with that. That's part of learning. So, I keep on saying also. So, probably I'll start with teaching English. And ang probably start ko would be mga common mistakes na ginawa ko that probably sa mga bagong teachers or sa mga nag-i-inspire to be an online teacher to do something. So ito yung mga mistakes na nangyari sa akin in the past that sana matutunan niyo. Treat this as a cautionary tale in a way. So, number 0 mistake. I cannot really stress enough how important to have a good computer, especially backup system pag nagtuturo ka ng English or as a virtual assistant. Your students and employers depend your ability to provide your service regardless of the weather. I do understand na mahirap talaga yon kasi siyempre bago ka pa lang and alam naman natin yung mga rate ng ibang company medyo mababa. However, you have to invest. You have to invest on a good equipment. You have to invest on a good computer, backup power, backup internet, so forth and so on. Kahit nga backup site eh. Kumbaga, kung pwede kang magkaroon ng multiple office sa mga bahay, well, kung marami kang bahay, then that's good, right? But let's say meron kang kapamilya na pwede kang tumira if in case na baha, let's say, especially this time, right? Ang hirap siguro na binabaha ka tapos nagtuturo ka, problema mo na yung kuryente, tubig, lahat-lahat na. So, mas maganda kung meron kang opportunity to move. I think that same goes with a virtual assistant. Meron ka dapat talagang location. Kasi yun yung investment na sinet up mo para makapagtrabaho ka sa work from home. So, both industry ng virtual assistant and ESL, ganun dapat talaga. Dapat meron kang backup. Share ko lang, nag-start ako, simple lang yung computer ko. Intel Atom, triple EPC pa lang yun. Tapos sa awan ng Diyos, nagkaroon ako ng cellphone. Nagkaroon ako ng backup phone, doon ako nagtuturo if in case something emergency. Recently, nagkaroon kami ng generator, nakabili kami second hand. And right now, so far okay naman siya. However, we still make sure na next year meron kami mga projects to improve yung setup namin. Personally ako, project ko is Starlink. Gusto ko talagang i-try yung Starlink para kahit saan ako pumunta may internet. As a virtual assistant or as an ESL teacher, dapat talaga meron kang mga backup. So yun ang mga mistakes na nangyari sa akin na sana mapulutan nyo ng aral. Especially those who are planning to do ESL or VA in the future. Another mistakes is mindset and culture. Isa sa mga bagay na nag-adjust ako ng sobra-sobra is that hindi mo, iba talaga ang culture ng ibang tao. Hindi lang sa personality, sometimes kultura nila. Tayong mga Pilipino, very reciprocate tayo, di ba? Parang pag meron, uy, kumusta ka? Sasagot ka, ganda, di ba? Maganda tayo makipag-usap, marunong tayo makisama. Especially kung kapangpangan ka talagang, ay, pag magsasalita kayo, parang napaka-close nyo na, di ba? Unfortunately, that doesn't apply to every culture. As an ESL teacher, first mistakes ko yon. Parang, bakit si estudyante napaka-passive? Napaka-rude naman nito. Parang, alika marunong makisama, makanta. Sorry, medyo I need to polish my Kapampangan, it's been a while. So, somehow makikita mo stressful kasi sige halos sumayaw ka na sa harap ng estudyante mo, sasabihin yes or no. Bakit? It turns out naman pala, maintindihan mo na maraming issue. So, for example, yung estudyante mo baka hindi naman sanay sa gano'n. Lumaki sila na yes lang sila ng yes or no. Ta's bigla mong tatanungin, "How's your day?" Nothing special, so-so. Same. Talagang iinit ang ulo mo kung araw-araw gano'n yung mga sinasagot ng estudyante mo. Pero ang tanong, talagang gano'n ba sila kabastos or bastos ba talaga sa kanila or it's just mindset din? May mga mindset na natutunan ko yun na baka parang response lang nila. Kasi kung sasabihin nila yung buhay nila, ano ba yung mangyayari? So, somehow you need to know kung ano yung sitwasyon. I cannot say this works for everyone, but for me, since handle ko lagi is adults, I'll talk to my students. Actually, gagamitin ko is ChatGPT and then sasabihin ko, translate ko. Basically, ito yung gusto ko. Try to explain your day. Not because I'm interested. Hindi dahil nakikichismis ako. Gusto kong itry mo magsalita about your past, about ganyan. Sige, ayaw mong pag-usapan yung buhay mo. That's okay. At least alam natin. So kung ayaw mo, probably start natin na, oh, what did you have for dinner tonight? Let's say ang pasok mo gabi, di ba? Pasok niyo ang klase niyo is gabi. So tatanong mo, did you have your dinner? Yes. What did you have? Rice. Like, try mo silang try to understand. And sasabihin ko mahirap 'yun. Mahirap 'yun kasi sa akin madaling mag-init ang ulo ko 'pag ang estudyante ko is gano'n. Pero, um, I would like to share yung isang phrase na nag-change ng mindset ko. And I forgot it bigla-bigla. Um, Basta the idea is that, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing wrong or poorly. Puwede mo sabihin nagbababa ka ng standard pero sa akin lang at least may sinabi siya, okey na sa'kin. Kung ayaw niya talagang magsalita at he or she is trying, um, his best, then probably it's better na talagang be okay. Be okay na gano'n talaga. Maybe today, 2 words lang kaysa wala, 'di ba? Buti nga pumasok pa, eh, 'di ba? So, yun idea is anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. Dr. Jordan Peterson, I think. So it's very motivating for me na kahit ang estudyante mo medyo substandard ang ginawa, at the end of the day, at least may ginawa siya. So, number two mistake na ginawa ko would be 01. Okay, is time zone. This is very minimal pero malaking mistake 'pag nagkakamali ka. Ah, I'm not sure pero kahit mga ibang teachers na medyo matagal na sa industry, nagkakamali pa rin. Sabi nga dati ng OM ko dun, lahat ng babasahin mo, not just memorize it, learn it, by heart. So right now, 'pag ang estudyante mo Korean or Japanese at nasa Korea sila at nasa Japan sila, it's +9. It means na for example sa Pilipinas, it's around US ako, 5:41 ngayon sa Pilipinas, so it's 6 o'clock. Sa Vietnam, sa Thailand, 5 o'clock or sorry, 4 o'clock, so -1. So, knowing that kasi may mga iba na mag-uusap kayo tapos sasabihin mo, "Okey, ito yung available schedule ko." So, ang nangyayari is, schedule mo 5 o'clock tapos, puwede tayong mag-meet ng 7 o'clock. Ang tanong, anong time zone? So, doon nagkakamali tapos yung gano'ng pagkakamali is sometimes it's bad impression na. Kasi akala mo papasok sa estudyante, ay hindi pala pumasok. So, ano yung sa mindset nung isang estudyante mo? Ay hindi pala totoo yung sinasabi ng teacher ko na papasok siya, ganyan, ganyan. So, magkakaroon ng kaunting a little bit of a crack and that could cause more and more problem. Especially sa mga teachers na or somehow for me, mahilig ako mag-schedule, rescheduling. Hindi unfortunately, yung mga estudyante natin, hindi nila hawak yung oras nila. Especially 'pag handle mo YLE or JLE, Junior Learning English. May mga iba, parents yung naggagawa, minsan teacher nga nilang gumagawa ng schedule para sa kanila, tapos babaguhin mo. So, 'pag you always keep on changing it, bad impression na yun. So, if you're branding yourself, let's say private teacher ka, tapos lagi ka nagre-reschedule, pumapangit yung reputation mo. Kung ang usapan niyo is 10 o'clock Japan time or Korean time, follow that. Kung may problem, inform ahead of time or at least try to make yung promise mo. Kung di ka sure, huwag kang promise. So, ang first mistake, again, I tend to use zero. I believe zero has a value. So, zero is having a backup system. Mistake one is culture and mindset ng estudyante mo. Then, mistake number two is time zone. So, let's add one more para talagang three mistakes. So, three mistakes plus one. CEFR. Ano ba yung CEFR? Common European Framework of Reference. Sa madaling salita, ang English at iba pang language sa Europe is naka-standard yan. So, kailangan mong pag-aralan yan. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, well, advanced na si student. Saan mo siya binase? Well, sa experience ko. Well, yes, pwede yon, pero kailangan meron kang support. So, I cannot stress this one kasi may mga iba na sasabihin, yeah, the student is very good, ganyan-ganyan. Pwede mo sabihin na pinakamagaling sila sa mundo. Pero again, sa pananaw mo, paano kung mag-aaralin ng iba sa ibang lugar? Ano sasabihin level? Probably makikita mo yung mga ibang school, mayroon silang kanya-kanyang level. If you're gonna scrutinize that level, especially big companies, nag-a-align pa rin yan sa CEFR. So as a freelance English teacher, you need to make sure na alam mo yun by heart. What makes you as an A1? Ano yung mga capability mo? What makes you as an A2, B1, B2, C1, C2? For me, sa madali lang, for me, since I like to watch political or videos related to politics, si Madam Defensor Santiago, Miriam Defensor Santiago, she's C2. Like she is the standard of C2. Academically inclined. You don't really talk about like the way she explained things. That's C2. Then you have A1. Yung mga A1 na A1 level na kaya magsalita ng 3 to 4 words. Tapos hindi naman lahat alam na mga words. In fact, ang maganda sa CEFR, pati yung mga words naka-standardize. Kung baga, mother, father, these are categorized as A1. So may mga words na hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, oh, this is the new word. Ano, Staphylococcus pneumoniae. Ba, hindi na siya kasama sa A1. Kumbaga, knowing CFR, alam mo kung ano yung mga list of words. And this is the most boring kasi. Ang pinapagawa ko dati sa mga teachers before is to read the Common European Framework of Reference, and ayaw nila kasi boring talaga. Yung inventory list ko was a little bit of 15 pages. Talagang detailed siya. Pero pag napag-aralan mo by heart, pag narinig mo sa estudyante mo, tapos, okay, ganito yung ginagawa niya. Nandun pa siya sa level A1. So, ito yung book na i-provide ko or ito yung mga strategies na gagawin ko. So, let's summarize. So, first mistake or number zero mistake is devices. Mag-backup ka ng internet, mag-backup ka ng computer. Mistake number one, okay, mindset ng estudyante mo at culture. Mistake number two, time zone. Pag-aralan mo yung time zone ng mga estudyante mo. And mistake number three is Common European Framework of Reference. Pag-aralan, isa puso. So, this is a very short episode of Teaching English at Pa, aka T Podcast Episode 1. And I do hope may natutunan kayo. Thank you for listening and have a great day. Okay? Cheers. Bye-bye.